my people, see my baby by your side. I can see my people in rivers. I also see my people in downtown. Cross River and Akwa Ibom. Even in the state, I can see my people in Enugu. I can see my people in Anambra. I also see my people in Ebonyi. Imo and Naga, Igala and Idoma, Biafra, 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 Biafra. I know the Batista, Biafra, in the Vodka, Biafra, over the Teleman, Biafra. A good place and it could be before good and man to see the unification of all Biafra. As it been said already, let it be done. We are the children of Chukwuka and Biafra. Hey, we are one family. Same DNA, descendants of the descendants of parody. Yes, we are one people. We are traceable to the land of Israel. Our ancestral Biafra, 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 Biafra. I know that it's all Biafra. In the vodka, Biafra. Over the Biafra. Listen, no more demand and rule. Let's make people and a lot of rules. We now know who we are. We are Biafrans. No more Southeast, yo. No more South, yo. No more Nigeria. All we know is Biafra. We are one family. Same DNA. Descendants of the descendants of parody. We are one people. We are traceable to the land of Israel. Our ancestral Biafra, 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 Biafra. I need to get it all Biafra. In the vodka of Biafra. Over the Biafra. Technology, Biafra. What is so see, Biafra. Over the Teleman of Biafra. Over the Teleman of Biafra. All Biafra. All Biafra. I know that it's all Biafra. Over the Teleman of Mr. Pro. Namo de Kano. Radio Biafra on the beat.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscientious people wherever you are all over the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Uche Okafo-Mefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. His name have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And of course, he's standing in a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the Prince of Afari Beku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom, the one and the only man that stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people for almost 6 decades. He is from Umuahia, Afari Beku in Umuahia, and Afari Beku Umuahia is Biafra land. By the grace of Chukwuka Biama, remain George Onyibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. And of course, we acknowledge the Creator, Chukwuka Biama, the one who sits in heaven and preside over the affair of man, the one who has set our feet upon this path that we must follow. We give him all the praises, we give him all the glory, we give him all the honor, because in the end, he is the lifting up of our head, our guide, the matter both great and small. He has become our wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the very primordial influence that drives us in everything we do. And so, in my humble way, I will acknowledge him. Ibuchukwu ebughị mmadụ Ibuchukwu ebughị mmadụ agbanwe Ibuchukwu obi n'igwe Ibuchi meghe Ibuchukwu ebughị mmadụ Ibuchukwu onye na-agwọ ọrịa m analigo Ibuchukwu onye na-echi ikpe ziri ezi anya n'elu ụwa o Ibuchukwu ọdịmegbo Juda Ibuchi meghe Ibuchukwu ebughị mmadụ anyị na-aja gị mma o n'ihi na ị mara mma ịhụnanya na gị obiọma gị o juru anya dadi o inwe gị mgbanwe o ọ dịghị onye dịka gị ịbụ Alpha na Omega anyị niile na-asị na ịdị mma o. And so at this moment, as always, we go on to our topic, which is simple. Of course, on this segment, the theme remains back to your root. The theme remains back to your root. I know that one day we will all appreciate and embrace the truth, and the truth which is nothing more or less than going back to our root. As far as we can remember, everything about us as a people have been demonized to enable the invaders to be able to have total control of us as a people, spiritually, physically, mentally, and otherwise. I can tell you they have completely re-engineered us. There was a generational shift. But everything they have done against us, we will make sure we undo them. And as always, our topic this evening is spiritual aspect of our culture that has been neglected. We all understand that as a people, we have culture, we have tradition. This is the total makeup of our identity, our heritage, what we really are. And these things haven't been taken away from us. We actually neglected them. We were programmed to see them as evil. And so we neglect them anyway. And as a result of neglecting them, we lose the track. We lost so many things, more than we can imagine. And those spiritual aspects that we are focusing on this series falls into the following category, which we studied one of them yesterday, which is the Star of David. And I believe that when you see that symbol, you understand the spiritual implication, physically and spiritually, even though we didn't go in depth as we ought to, but we shall in the process of time. The second of it, which we are going to look at this evening, is the issue of astrology, the zodiac sign. But having said that, we must not forget we will still be considering some other aspect of the spiritual part of our culture that have been neglected, such as the art of defilement, the implication of circumcision, the four elements that govern the universe, the influence of dream and vision, the way of Chukwu Kikabiama, the translation known as, or the transition known as astral travels. But this evening we are going to look at the astrology. Like I said, I try not to go too deep, but create a platform for you to be able to appreciate certain things. When you talk about the issue of astrology, you talk about the zodiac sign, which is 12 among them, but it will amaze you What the Bible have to say about that? We are Christians. Let's go by that. But we were first Biafrans. Umenala and Ordenala. Before Christianity was brought to our fathers. And for the last time I checked, they had perfect and absolute relationship with the Creator. But along the line, something went wrong. We lost the path. And then when you talk about the issue of astrology, in the Christendom, they don't agree with it. In fact, in so many scriptures in the Bible, it is projected as if God condemned astrologers, which I am not going to argue with anybody because English is not our language. But to me, it looks as if God was giving them a direction. Do not worship the signs in heaven or on earth, but worship me, the Creator, Chukwu Kikabiama. Your misunderstanding this well will not deceive any of us any longer. For the Bible has actually said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And so we will continue, or rather begin to look into this study, considering so many things. All these things we're talking about concerning our culture and tradition are recorded in the Bible. But some of the religious leaders, whether they are Muslim, whether they are Christian, they are Hindu, they are Buddhist, whatever religion they belong to, makes it look like this way of life is an abomination unto God. But I tell you the truth, their influence in your life decide your relationship with the nature and the Creator as we go through this study. I could only pray that God will open your eyes. For in the end, these things will guarantee you safety. Here on earth, I must tell you. I could only, or rather, let's start by looking at the issue of astrology. Astrology is the belief that the alignment of stars and the planets affect every individual's, their mood, their personality, as well as their environment, depending on when he was born. Astrologers print horoscope in newspapers that are personalized by the date of birth. But let's look at the explanation according to the Bible. Let me try to bring it down the way we can understand. When you talk about the issue of astrology, it is simple talking about the ability to align the elements of heaven, the stars, the moon, and other things in heaven, to be able to understand how they affect your mood, how they affect your personality, how they affect your environment, and ultimately everything about our life. But like I said, the Christians don't go this way, because in so many scriptures in the Bible, for instance, Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 19, the Bible says that God said, no, do not get involved with people who do this kind of thing. But I want you to go back and research that scripture over and over and over again. But the Bible was actually trying to make them understand that if you go by these things, be very sure you don't begin to worship the stars and the moon, leaving the Creator outside. Because the astrologers are the people who study the position of the moon, the position of the sun, the position of the stars, the position of other planets within the galaxy. And they understand how it affects the life of individual. If I wanted us to go deep in this study, we will be considering how it affects the formation of the pyramids, how it becomes the basic tools that actually gave birth to the Kemite civilization, the ancient civilization, upon which the foundation of the world is being built, technologically wise and otherwise. But we will not go that way, but let's focus and see how we can dwell on this astrology. Now, if astrology is the study or the ability or the knowledge to be able to understand the alignment of the stars, the moon, and the sun, and yet the Bible says don't get involved. And then one question should be, why did the Bible say that the Magi, or the three wise men as they call them, who visited Jesus, were actually astrologers? It was the star that led them to where Christ was born. These three wise men from the east, why did the Bible call them wise? They were astrologers. They came to see Christ. The question is, if God actually condemned the art of astrology, why did he then at the end of the day they call them the three wise men? Because they were astrologers. And now, having said this, I want us to understand what all this is all about. Somewhere in the book of Matthew, around 23, 24, Jesus was admonishing the disciples about the signs of the end time. And he said, actually, woe to you, Pharisees, leaders of the Sanhedrin, because you can read the stars and the moon and you can interpret the weather. You will know with this position and this stand, it's going to rain. But it's unfortunate you cannot read the signs of the end time. And now, this is another clear indication that the leaders of the Sanhedrin, the religious leader during the time of the era of Christ, they were all practicing astrology. And now let me tell you the truth about astrology. We are looking at how our ancestors were able to survive. We were looking at what our ancestors knew that have been demonized, and we don't see, we don't get the benefit today because we see them as evil. Now, first of all, as a child, if I look at the sky as I'm talking to you at night, if I don't see any sign of star, I know it's going to rain. At least if not in my community, in the neighboring community. There is no evil trying to understand that when there is no star, all of a sudden all the stars disappear from the sky. In the evening time, of course, you know, it is said that it is going to rain. If not in your immediate community, but within the neighboring community. This could only be information, knowledge you have from the star and how it operates. Because the moment the cloud gathers, they cover the star. And that means it is going to rain. This is astrology. And now, going deep, it is with this study of the wind that blows in the star and the rest of them, people can say this wind that is coming, it is a harmattan wind, considering the location where we find ourselves in the world. We know the wind that is bringing rain. We know that at times it looks as if it's going to rain. In fact, it has started drizzling. And then some kind of wind will begin to blow. You can clearly say that because of the presence of this wind, it's not going to rain again. And it's not going to rain again. This is astrology we are talking about. Some of you can be able to understand and say, with this kind of velocity of heat coming from the sun, it means it's going to rain. I see a lot of people, they say, this sun where they come, now rain they come so. But how did they know? They are Christians, they don't believe in astrology, but yet they live out astrology without knowing them. But you are allowed to practice this one according to your culture because it really does not benefit you much. And so they give it to you. That one is not evil. But by the time you go in depth to understand the real benefit of astrology, it becomes evil. And then people are going to preach for you very loud and say it's evil. But believe me, the day man stopped the study of astrology, I want to say, that is the day man will lose true knowledge and value for every perspective to every area of our life. And make no mistake about it. Now, the astrology we talk about, for just to clear that area, we have 12 signs, 12 zodiac signs. zodiac sign, 12 of them. You have the Aries, you have the Taurus, you have German, you have Cancer, you have Leo, you have Virgo, Libra, Scorpion, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, as they call it. But of course, I cannot tell you I know the names of this sign in our own dialect. These are some of the information our elders should give to us. But let us go by the one we know today. And then, having mentioned this, there are 12 of them. This 12 zodiac sign passes another information. And now people have always wondered and say, why do we have 12 months in a year? Why did Jesus choose 12 disciples? Why do you have 12 hours in a day and 12 hours at night? What symbol does the number 12 project in human event as we see today? From 1 to 12 is day. Another 1 to 12 is night. Another 12 months is a year. Jesus has 12 disciples. And now you have the 12 signs of the zodiac. And now there are things I want you to understand. If you say this 12, you divide the 12 by 4, it gives you 3. These 3 represent the 3 out of the 4 market days that we talk about, which is Eke, Nkwo, Afo, and Orie. But somebody is going to say, but the market days are 4. Yes, Eke, Nkwo, Afo, Orie. As we all know, the zodiac sign are 12 in number, divided into 3 different parts. The first 3 represent the water sign. The second symbol represents the fire sign. The third symbol represents the wind sign. But the earth is not there. The same thing is represented in the 12 months of the year, in the 12th hour of the day, in the 12th hour of the night, in the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, as they are encoded. 4 was omitted. It would have been 16 sign. But the fourth part of it is the earth, which is you, from the dust that we are made. The water, the fire, and the wind are useless, except you are there. So you are the missing part of the element we are looking into. And so when you divide the 12 by 4, which is the 4 market day, you have 3. 3 of them represent the other 3 elements of life, while you are the 4th one. This is clearly seen in the pyramids of Egypt, which is the symbol of triangle. The middle is the earth. The water, the fire, and the wind comes to nothing, except you are there to benefit from them. And now, having said this, that is not our focus, but we must drag it back to our religion and the benefit of understanding science and weather that made our ancestors to be able to succeed. People wonder, how could they in the ancient time travel through the sea without a navigating instrument? And people travel for years on the sea. And after all this travel, they are able to come back. That is because they were masters of reading the signs in the heavens. Today, we have lost all of them. But the people who tell you it's astrology, tell them what is weather focus. Weather focus is extended technology advanced method of astrology. But all of us enjoy it. And so in the morning, because Onyibe did it, you're now on your radio. And they say, yes, in Lagos, it's going to be 32 degrees Celsius. Yes, in Abo, it's going to be 150 million degrees Celsius. And then in London, it's going to be a little bit winter. It will be lower than. All those things is astrology. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Because they have a computer, a technology that enables them to study the weather. And I can tell you categorically that the greatest weapon that will be unleashed by Homo sapiens in this current dispensation is not nuclear weapon. It is not nuclear warhead. It is not ballistic missile. It is going to be weather-controlled weapon. They are working hard at it today. They turn your way out of it. And now they are inventing machines that from within their comfort zone, unseen, unnoticed by anybody, they will roast the world. But only those who understand the signs of the heavens will survive the next war. Maybe it's Armageddon, but that is not where we are going to this evening. And now, considering having said this, in terms of religion aspect to astrology, we now move down to how this astrology affects us as a people. Traditionally, what our ancestors did with it. Now we look at the overall view of the study of the sky. There are a lot of things that happen in the sky. Now, my mother told me, and that should be in 1956. She said she was still a little bit young. And there was darkness all over Biafra land. She said she was in the farm with the father. And I say, what could have caused it? Because they say that darkness came down around between 11, 12, or let's say 10 to 12. And there were thick darkness. My mother said the darkness was so thick that you can feel it. Just like what happened in Egypt. And I said, what must have led to that? But this is what she told me. He told me that that was when the true worship in Aruchuku fell. And that was when God backed our people. That was the sign of darkness that fell. Of course, I stand to be corrected, but I'm telling you what I know. And she also stand to be corrected. But at least my mother knew that in Biafra land, there was a particular year that the darkness took over the whole land. It lasted for some hour and it came out. We have what is known as the red moon. And we all know what happened when the red moon comes up. We know what is known as the comet. The comet is said to appear in every 1,000 years. And when the comet appears in 1,000 years, somebody is born. That person could be a destroyer or it could be a savior. But they are uniquely different for greater purpose. All these things are there before us. We don't observe them. We do not study them. We don't mind them because somewhere along the line, trying to seek this knowledge have been demonized. And so you don't have to talk about it. I understand there are people, our ancestors, that have the power to manipulate fire. They sit on fire. They eat fire. They play with fire. Fire cannot burn them. But if you see them today, you will call them demon. But I'm coming. I understand that in those days, it is not everybody from Delta State that I know. No be everybody water the kill. No be every, in fact, if you are from Ijo of those days, water don't kill them. As a newborn baby, they are left beside the water 7 days. If they survive, that is through Ijo's son. If they die, it is not their own. It is just the same way the Spartans used to test their children by exposing them to hardship. And if they survive that hardship, that means they are Spartans, because they trained one of the most fierce warriors of their time. But today, when somebody say, for instance, I'm a German, they have lost the power to manipulate water. But let me go depth a little bit. Do you know that there are islands in Biafra land that you cannot go there ordinarily? We have been to many islands. And most of them, when we get to certain location, we stop and we pour libation in the water. Most of them, I'm not telling you in Nollywood movie, I'm telling you Biafra land. Most of them, you get to certain area, you will see snow will cover everywhere. But there is an island there. You will sail in the water over and over. You will never discover that island, except your umbilical is buried there. They are still dirty tomorrow. It's unfortunate Fulani army are almost taking over everywhere because some boys sold out these things to them, and then there will be Yoruba pastors to do what they need to do, destroying our culture and heritage. If you are not a side, it is impossible for a stranger to kill a German inside the Atlantic Ocean in the ancient time. But today, go there, Fulani, uncircumcised, Barawu Dambanza, manage it. They were people who had the power to manipulate water. At the same time, they have people who had the power to manipulate storm. They control the winds. But they are all evil today. But let me tell you a little secret. Don't tell anybody. They are still there in Europe. They are still there in America. These people are still there in China and in Japan. They are still there in Saudi Arabia. Do you know what they call them? The avatar. That is what they call them. It's a cartoon, so don't watch it too. It's a cartoon. They call them the avatar. But I won't digress further. Let us come back home. The reason why I want us to look at this astrological aspect of the zodiac sign and how it works. Today, it looks almost impossible for us to be able to understand ourselves as a people. We must accept this truth. We don't understand ourselves anymore. When Mr. A is saying A, Mr. B is saying B, Mr. C is saying C, Mr. Q is saying Q, you hardly see leaders. That is because a leader must first of all understand or have one basic knowledge about the people. You must be able to understand what makes up their personality. And now, human beings reason in different ways. You must understand this. And as a leader, you must understand how they behave, how they react. As a father, you must understand what makes your children tick, what their weakness is all about. The day you are studying them to understand how they function, this is astrology. Because the alignment of the stars and the moon and the sun, they affect them. It was easy for Jacob, to understand the dream of Joseph. And when Joseph said, I was in a dream, and I saw 11 stars, the sun and the moon bowing to me. It was easy for the father to understand that the 11 stars were Joseph's brother. The moon was Joseph's mother. And the sun was he, Jacob. And the Bible says he said to himself, does it mean these things will truly come? That I and my wife and my sons will worship this Joseph? But he kept it to himself. This is astrology. In those days, our fathers were able to predict perfectly who we are because they understand this knowledge. Now, let me come back a little bit. If you go back to your Bible at the same time, you know, most of these things, they just scatter them, recatalog it, reposition them to collect money from us. Only those who search deep will understand what the Spirit of God is saying. And now, when Jesus tried to teach them about the influence of the stars and the moon relating to people, he said something in a parable. There was a father who had two sons. He said to one of them, go and fetch me water, for instance. And that one said, Daddy, I will not go. But later on, reconsidered his way and went. But yet he said to the other son, go and get me water. And that one said, yes, Daddy, I will go. But he did not go in the end. And these were two characters of two brothers being manifested. And now, coming back to what I'm saying, to be a successful father, to be a successful leader, to be a successful president, governor, or whatever it may be, you must understand the characteristics, the mindset of the people around you. That is why our fathers could easily look at somebody and say, this boy is a thief. It's not because they know the boy, because there are certain attributes manifesting from such individual, they will know is a thief. And sometimes you look at people, you just see their innocence, you just see their purity. You know at the end of the day, this person is a good person. All these things are some of the studies our ancestors knew. They find out the time you were born. They understand who you are going to be. And now to digress a little bit, if you have ever heard about the study of astrology, please go back and check your date and find out if what is said about your particular star, it's applicable to your life. It will amaze you. 90% of what they will tell you about you is the truth. You just go and look for any book that talks about the zodiac sign. 12 of them. If you are a Leo, find out what is said about Leo. You will see that is how you behave. Almost 90%, if not perfect in some cases. The reason they will not boast that is going to be perfect is because of the time frame on which they are born. Some are higher and others are lower, but yet they operate within the same frequency. Now, what am I trying to say? There are people who you understand. You tell them, go and now let me use my family now, for instance. As children, my mother, my father can actually predict us. They know who we are. They know what we are capable of doing. And so if you steal money, they know who to rule out. They can say, no, George will not do this. No, this will not do that. No, this cannot do that. And then they narrow the number of the people in the family, maybe about 14 or 17 to 2 people. They will call the 2. Stay here. Tell us what you know. And I tell you, from that 2, you will know who did that thing. And then they commit another crime. They virtually know how we operate. Now, one of my younger brother, he's always very troublesome. He can't work with people. He lacks whatever it takes to work with him. That thing they call teamwork, forget about him. And now, I noticed something. Maybe our parents went out and they will tell us, wash the plate, sweep the compound, wash the dirty uniform, do this and do that and do that. And now what we will do is, we want to work together. So, okay, let's go to the kitchen, wash the kitchen, mop everywhere before we go and do all that thing. I tell you, my parents will come back and meet fight because we are not going to do anyone. Because that my brother is going to cause problem. But you know, when my parents comes back, they know what has happened. They will just keep us quiet. All of us will explain. Then when we finish explaining, they now say, okay, you, Valentine, or yeah, go and start working. And then they will ask the rest of us to sit. But do you know this brother? Only the brother will finish the whole work and there will be peace. And once he's done with that work, once he's doing those work, they will load food for him. And then you have appeased the gods. What I'm saying invariably is that my brother cannot work with anybody. Instead of him to work with anybody, leave the work for him alone. And he will finish that work. And once he finishes that work, just load good food for him. He will be ready to do another work over and over. But of course, my parents understand that if they go by that, that means the rest of us will not learn anything. And so when they want to give us any assignment, they divide and they give him the bigger part of the portion and ask him, go and be doing that. He knows that his own portion is bigger than all of us, but he derives joy in that. That is who he is. It enables them to know that when you send this brother and say, go and buy me sugar cane, that the brother will reject. There are some, they will never agree to do anything. Oh, but go and wash plates. Then you will hear murmur of a lifetime. Our parents were able to understand that no matter the level of murmuring, they will do that job. But the point is, at the end of the murmuring, they go and do the job. They also know those children that you will tell, go and clean the louvers. They say, daddy, I'm on my way. Don't worry, I will do it sharp, sharp. But they will never do it. And so they don't go beating you because you didn't do the job. They don't go on praising you because you did the job. They know who you are. With this information, they position you. All those ones that are 419 among us, you will tell, go and do something. They say, oh, I'm going now, sharp, sharp. They don't send them on error alone. Those are the ones my father will, oh yeah, come. Both of us are going to watch. There is nowhere to hide. And so it was never offense to anybody because our parents know how to position all of us. Today, I see people, they say, oh, this one is a thief. He's a thief. Stone him, kill him, burn him. But you are evil because you are not burning the governors. You are not burning the senators. You are not burning Nigerian rulers. That is why they have the privilege to be talking about hate speech. But in those days, we have criminals. We have armed robber, professional. They were not burning them. They were in the community. The question is, how were they being managed? They keep them for the right purpose. A time will come, there is a job meant for them. They send them to do the job. They know who they are. All those bad boys you call bad boy in your village, you are killing them. The day Fulani herdsmen will visit your village. If you have killed your own bad boys, you will wish you have not done that. And so in all their words, the community was able to function peacefully because they understand the character, the makeup of individual. They know the person. They say, you go fight Okenkwo. You go look for Okenkwo trouble. My hand no deal. They know what he can do. Why did you look for Jumbo trouble? He's a gentle person. They know who he is and what he can do. And so when they are going to ask us to go and do something, they team you up with the right person that will bring out the best in you. Today, when you are in the position of a leadership, for you to succeed, you must understand the way the people around you behave. And the moment you understand how they behave, follow them like that. Of course, there will be crises. Of course, there will be challenges, but the work must be done. Because you will be able to know the person that will not do his own job and sabotage. But in the absence of this knowledge, that is why you see saboteurs. They are prevalent, they are succeeding. They come out everywhere, they pretend, but you don't know them. They overrun all of you because you did not take notice of who they are. Go back to the study of how our environment affects us as a people. You begin to unmask a lot of people even before they come to you. You begin to know where they are going to even before they make the first move. You are not a prophet. But yet, what makes a prophet? It's inside you. Everything is laid bare before us. Our ancestors understand this truth. But today, how come you can't predict anybody? But of course, if you put your eye down, you will know. Coming to consider the case of IPOB. With the constant gospel you hear from Radio Biafra, you can easily know somebody that is a saboteur. You can know easily somebody that is ignorant, naive. You can know somebody that is wicked. With the study of science in the heavens and on earth here, where Nigerian art, we know where they are going to. We know where they are coming from. We know what move Jubri, and we know what move Buhari. We know what move Obasanjo. We know what move all of them. Babangida. But of course, they have no concern to us. At the right time, we will take the necessary action and we will do the needful. And they will understand that actually this is the time of grace, that they have to do the right thing. But they fail to do that. The same way are the saboteurs in IPOB, in Biafra land, working strong and doing everything they are doing. But there is always negative to every positive side of event, of history, as it relates to us as a people. I may not have been able to pass the true message to you, but I want to believe that you begin to understand that everything around us influences our life, negatively or positively. But you must understand that God's intention towards the negative and the positive side is for the ultimate best of humanity. Only if the principle will be applied in the right direction. And so when our lines are open, you tell me about how your ancestors were able to manipulate or understand how the stars, the sun, the moon, how they function. Because they have a lot of things to do with us. You can choose to deny this truth. You can choose to embrace it. But I tell you, you will be more successful in life more than any other thing. That is why you have people who say they are archaeologists. That is why for almost thousands of years, people are still studying the pyramids. Till today, what is hidden in the pyramids, even with all the technology at our disposal, is still a mystery. Till today, some of the things that empower Homo sapiens, their power is reducing spiritual wise, but advancing technological wise. And I tell you, we are not ready for the outcome of our actions. But Biafrans must be ready. And to be ready, do not think you just occupy a space. No. Understand that everything within that time and space you control influence your life, either to the negative or to the positive. But your knowledge of them and the ability to control them, wield them in your favor, ultimately leads to the confidence assurance that you will be victorious in the end. Because a sailor who fails to study the winds and yet dive into the ocean may end up being blown away by the wind to a destination they may never come back. And so our lines will be open any moment from now, and I believe somebody will be able to tell us, how did our fathers know it was going to be rainy season? They didn't use British calendar, but they knew. What were they looking for them to know that the rain is going? Have you not noticed the weather is mad now? Even in December, November, rain is still falling. Rain even fall in January. But it was not like that when we were children. Without technology, they knew. Without a calendar, they can tell you the date. In fact, they have their own calendar. And for you to understand how these things are manipulated, you begin to ask, why does the Chinese and the Japanese have different calendar? Why does the Jewish people have different calendar? Why does the British impose themselves their calendar on us? And do you know that Ethiopia are the custodian of the original calendar of the Africans? And then why are we not using it? These are some of the things we are losing. And so when they tell you it is January, are you sure it's January? And who is January? When they tell you it's February, March, are you sure what it really means? Or you just have to fit in? Our lines are open, of course, at this moment. You are free to call in, and I'll be back in a minute.
Many people have little brain, little brain. Think very well, reason very well. They want to Islamize, they want to kill. We need to go, we need a freedom. We need a Biafra restoration. United Nations declare them wanted because they want to kill us. They want to wipe us. They want to finish us. Hey. They are the one, the Boko Harams. They are the one, please declare them wanted. They are the liars, they are the cheats, thieves, and the criminals. Buhari, you are the one. Boko Haram, we know you. Israel, you are there. Support United Nations to declare them wanted.
Yes, sir. Our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. Our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. If you are a Biafran, anywhere in the world you are here to join IPOB, send us your name, your location, and your phone number to this WhatsApp line. If you are a Biafran musician, you have released an album, you have produced an album for this struggle or restoration effort, send us your WhatsApp link on this WhatsApp line, 070-815-45642. Very important and very urgent. If you know any Biafra musician or some writer anywhere in the world, ask them to send their WhatsApp link to this WhatsApp line, because we are gathering our people already. And then, having said so, our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971. And the special number for the female is 081-288-58614. 081-288-58614. It may not make sense to most of you, but with this principle, our people have been lowered down. Have you ever wondered why the Muslim continue searching for moon in order to perform certain ritual? But then let's hear from our people who still understand this aspect. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
Onyibe, Ajay, can you hear me?
Ajay, go ahead, please.
Yes, good evening. Okwagu here, calling from Scandinavia. First of all, before I wanted to call, I was like, let me just call Onyibe, let him know that people inside the Arctic Ocean are listening to him, you know, just to boost morale. Can you hear me, Onyibe?
Yes, go ahead, you are coming out.
Yes, there was a small blip in the network here. So yes, you asked the question, how did our people know? Onyibe, yes, from everything you've said, you know, you've amassed a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and that takes time. That takes deep reasoning. And I know from here that you have been battling with yourself. You have been battling with everything you know. You've been battling with, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you will always come to the eventual truth, the truth that can never be hidden, you know. And the truth is that in the book that was used to indoctrinate us, it said, let there be light. So before that light, there was something. There was darkness. There was black. There was the N-word. There was something before they said they wanted to let there be light. That is the answer to your question. If my people can sit down and decode, if those bad boys that you talk about that we have killed, that we have denied, just because they lack a simple, you know, knowledge that was supposed to be given to them when they were young, and they find a way to survive. Onyibe, you put so much knowledge into 30 minutes, 1 hour, and there's no way I can, you know, go above that. There's no way I can say more than what I am saying right now. Before they said, let there be light, there was something, and it was a day. There were plenty. Thank you, Onyibe. Good night.
Thank you, my brother. We must continue. Of course, this is knowledge that may look too high for us to understand, but they manifest in our day-to-day life. Without you being able to get a glimpse of them, believe me, you will not understand what we are missing. Are you there, caller, on the line?
Yeah, good evening, my
Good
lord.
evening from here.
May Chukwu Kajama bless you. And bless all dear friends and bless our leader and keep straightening him. My name is Dimit. I'm calling from Enugu province of Biafra land. I say may Chukwu Kajama bless you and strengthen you for this good work you are doing for us all. Today you were teaching. This teaching told me something. My father was, when we were small, he was trying to teach us how to read time without looking at the watch. My father would come out in the sun and tell us that if the shadow is like this, it is 4 o'clock. And if he said that thing, we will go to time, we will rush to the clock, and it will be exactly 4 o'clock. And we will come back and say, how do you know? He said that the shadow is like this. But as we are growing now, we forget to learn that. I did not learn any one. The only one I could learn is when it is 12 o'clock, your shadow and your whole body. Your shadow will be on your body. The shadow will not step out anywhere. That is the only one that is the one that did not left me. All other ones, I forget about it now. We are being taught that all those things are evil. That is why we lost knowing the time and seasons of everything. My father will come out now and look at the sky and tell us what will happen. Exactly that thing will happen. And we were like, that thing is an old thing. The one we are seeing in television is the good one. But the other ones are the old thing. We call it old. But those old we do not study to know that that's where lies our destiny and everything that we can be. You know that our dad will dream. We will dream and tell our dad our dream. Our dad will say, no, my daughter. I don't want you to. I will not forget one that he told me. And he has done something and I prayed over it. And Chukwu Okabiama will not allow that thing to happen to me. He will say you that this thing will happen when you grow old, is not now. It will be like, what is this man saying? Some will say, we will do something about it, but this will not touch itself. We will not allow. I will say, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. But the man will tell you that this thing will not happen now. It will be when you grow old. Things will begin to be hard for you in future. Because as a effect of that dream. But we did not learn all those things. I'm even regretting why I did not learn it. Because everything they taught us is that Jesus is coming. I don't know whether he's coming or not. I'm not worshiping the white Jesus. I'm worshiping the black one. I've told them, if you are praying, imagining the white one is not for me. The angel that is guiding me is black. My father will be telling things, but we did not understand. We did not understand because they have shaped our brain to believe that all our focus, everything is that we are going to heaven. Nothing again. We can be useless on this earth and we are going to heaven. Which heaven will accept a useless somebody? Heaven will accept those that are wise and the people that knows what they are doing. May Chukwu Okabiama bless you, my Lord. May Chukwu Okabiama keep strengthening you.
Thank you
for
very
this
much.
teaching.
I
have a question on yesterday, but today you did not touch that area. I will ask it next time.
Yes,
if you touch that area, I will ask that question.
Thank you.
Oh, may Chukwu Okabiama bless you.
And bless you too. She said something, and these are some of the things we miss. Like in my primary 1, primary 2, I think I can tell you the time without looking at the wristwatch, because my father also taught me how to know the time. When you take a stick, then we chuck it at the middle of a circle we will draw, and where the shadow cast, it's exactly where it will be in your time. We could read the signs. We could read everything around us. We know when evil breeze blew. We know when fresh air is blowing. We understand everything about us. But today, you dare not look into this knowledge. It is evil. But the people who said it's evil are studying them. Believe me, there is nobody I cannot work with, except I choose not to. Nobody can offend me, except I choose to be offended. Nobody can frustrate me, except I choose to be frustrated. Nobody can intimidate me, except I choose to be intimidated. Nobody can harass me, except I choose to be harassed, because I will know what makes you tick, and I will improvise for you. But it's not because I'm better than you. It is because I choose to observe everything around me. And if every one of us have this mindset and understand that everything around us actually are there to work for our good. Maybe you begin to look deep into what you are saying. The history of the black, it will amaze you, is hidden in the cartoon. The history of the blacks is hidden in the cartoon, not in the documentary, not in those books you think, or no, they are hidden in the cartoon. And you see adult watching cartoon. They see this old man in they watch cartoon. You never know, honestly. Call on WhatsApp, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Master. Let me off my Master Onyibe, greeting.
Well done, my brother. Go ahead, please.
May Shuko bless you for the teachings and the knowledge and the revival of knowledge that you are giving to us day in, day out. Master Onyibe, let me just go straight to my point. You talk about the Ijo of yesterday, not the Ijo of today. When I was growing up, we used to learn about the Ijo people that they can even stay in water for a long time. Like if they give it to their children, they put them on the water. I don't know how they do it, but we have the story somehow, some way.
The truth is,
and we believe in it.
The truth is that even in those days, Ijo man can never be fair in complexion. 99.9% of all the Ijo are as dark as charcoal because they spend more time in the water than on land. But today now you see Onyibe everywhere and a lot of things is gone missing. But go ahead anyway. Let's learn from you.
Miss blood. So like I was saying, there was this Ijo guys that were doing bulkery somewhere in River State. Do you know that this Zoo, Mopo and Ami, they went to come and catch them. They catch them, they were about 4 in number. Do you know that the 2 Ijo that were inside the boat because they were still on the boat coming, they jumped into the River Niger and they never came out. It was the other tribe that were not Ijo that the Mopo and the soldier they arrested. Those guys stayed there, the police and the Mopo, they stayed and wait. They didn't come out and they drove off.
But do you know what they do now? They mobilize Ijo boys now from Bayelsa. They call them, they give them one task force name. They are the one now they are using to parabolate from Bayelsa down to Cross River State to catch fellow Ijo people who they are saying they are doing illegal bunkering, forgetting that Nigeria is an illegal country. So they understand that it is not possible. The water itself will speak in favor of a German and those who owns the water more than the stranger. But what they do now is they pay some of us to help them catch some of us. They are forgotten what they call them, but it's in Bayelsa they recruit them.
Is it not the same thing that Bakassi,
exactly.
What is Dave Umahi? They are using us to undo
ourselves.
Yeah. So, like, even this heritage of the Ijos, it's not every Ijo man that possesses it as we are speaking right now, because a lot of foreign religion have, destabilized us, have, if I don't know what the English to use, they have divided us in so many ways that we have forsaken our power. Because what you have is what you have. What you don't have, you don't have it. If you think that what you have is evil, when you don't have it anymore, then you will know that you'll be stranded. I remember that, like convulsion, the convulsion sickness, you can't cure it with all this white chalk. Convulsion are big, that they drive those evil spirits of convulsion with herbs. These old men, there are some old men who are in possession of all these herbs. But when convulsion hold a baby, before they will take that to camp, before the baby have stretch up and die, because we have forsaken what we have. The grass, all these little leaf around us that our Creator created in our vicinity, that they grows up, they are for reasons. It is not a mistake that our Creator give us all this help, and we are using it for something meaningful. But some will say, it is a diabolical, it is this one, it is that one. Do you know that I was even made to believe by my own dad when we are growing up, that even when you cut off bitter leaf and mix it with scent leaf and squeeze it together and drink, they are also satanic. Everything has to be done with prayer and white chalk. Onyibe, I will not go too much to take the whole time. Let me drop my last point. The issue of astrology, how to do with the Virgo, the Scorpio, I forgot the whole names. You know what you said about it is 100% truth. If you are born in August or you are born in November, check your date of birth and check your month of birth and read about what it is saying about so person born on that so date. You will find out that it is almost 90 to 98% truth. But the only thing that I have not found out that is true is that when Mr. A that is being born on November 22 and Mr. B that is being born on November 22, one will be rich and one will be poorer. But that have to do with the aspect of the time zone that you talk about. Maybe one was born at 2 p.m.
Yes.
The other one was born at.
Now, if you study the astrology deeply, you will understand that every star has the upper and the lower. They are the same, but in terms of their main characters, one is moral, the other is not moral. Like Scorpion, you have higher Scorpion and lower Scorpion. Do you understand? Like Leo, you have the higher one and you have the lower one. And now the purpose of knowing them is when you know them, you don't accept them, you change them.
Okay.
And so when you see, the essence of having this knowledge is to understand that, oh, I'm going to the farm and it's going to rain. Weather focus. They're not telling you to stop the rain. That is not the main essence. The main essence is carry umbrella. Or better still, cancel that journey. Exactly. That is the same thing, the information you have. Your destiny, your life, your destiny is in your hand. You will decide how it will end, how it will be. If you fail, it is your choice. If you succeed, it is your choice. Believe me, we make little mistakes. If Biafra continue crying, our freedom, give us freedom, and they are killing us, it is our choice. But if we rise up and do what we ought to do, as we are shouting now, they don't know what is coming. It is our choice. And so in between, there is always negative side and the positive side. You choose your side. Now, if you look at the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, you will understand Judas was prepared for the purpose. He accepted. But that position was not for Judas, but rather for Peter. And Jesus cleared Peter and said, Satan has planned to swift your life like wheat, but I have prayed for you. And so when you are strong, pray for others. And so from that discussion, you will know Peter was the one that was supposed to betray Jesus. But certain power changes destiny. You can change it. That is the purpose of having the knowledge. If you know rain is going to fall, the rainy season does not favor everybody. And so God will not give rain because of the people he favor. And you think he will not consider those rain does not favor. And so God will always give you rainy season, dry season, winter season, summer season, any name they call it. Your duty is to understand this is their time. And then you prepare to improvise. Or else, you give it up all at the end of the day. And so that is on that aspect, my brother.
Master Onyibe, I want to ask you for a favor. Last meeting when we were having our meeting here, there was one man that have been in our meeting for about 3 months now. The way he narrated some history about Ubini Pahabe. I was so interested. I've been heading into, but I've never, imagined what it means. I only know about Arochukwu. But please, one of these days you will find time to talk about the history of Ubini. I can't call it correctly, and Arochukwu also.
Of course,
because we need to learn. We need to learn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Master Onyibe.
We must continue.
Yeah.
Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Good evening from here. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Our topic is ndị otu ndị Igbo chere si amata echetara m mgbe grandmother m mgbe ọ gwara m ka a na-esi aha mata
That is very epileptic network. And I will advise you will call back at that. Yes, caller on WhatsApp. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mazi George. Good
evening from here, Chibuki from Israel. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good evening, fellow Biafrans. My name is Obimane Chibike. I'm from Umudi, under Olu province, Biafra land. Mazi, thank you very much for this your evening topic. As the other callers have said, Mazi have made me to understand this night that my forefathers, especially my grandmother and my grandfather, that they are astrologers. Because they don't have clock. What my grandmother will do is that she will just call you and tell you to go out to the sun. Once you go out to the sun, she knows the time. Mazi, I'm from Umudi, as I always said. My town, Umudi, is a town of tradition, town of culture and tradition. Mazi, in our village, I don't know whether it's generally in Onyibe land, but when a titled man wants to die, now they call title man chief, but title man is not a chief, it's an unse.
Now let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you, this man again. You see what you said now about when somebody want to die. You see, anytime our leader gathered when he was in Biafra land, there are always signs that come out from heaven. Many instances, rainbow come out in the heavens. And our medias are busy saying, oh, another wonderful sign, another wonderful sign. At that time, the astrologers. And if you believe astrologer is evil, for acknowledging that, we become evil. But we know it's not ordinary. You just say this thing, and it reminds me about my father's younger brother. Before he died, there was a sign in the heaven above their house. And somebody came out and said, somebody great is going to die in this family. And you know that guy was the wealthiest among all of them. He died premature death. But they didn't believe. They didn't do anything about it. In the evening, he was poisoned. And that sign in the sky above our house then showed that somebody was going to die by force. These are some of the signs in the heavens. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, my brother.
So during that time, if an also titled man want to die in our town, there must be a rainbow. And when this rainbow appeared, the elders know what is going to happen. They will gather themselves, they will be talking in good voice. There's this bird that is called Ajonono. The bird will be crying here and there. They will be they will be trembling, and they know it's going to happen. And the day of the burial of that is an also titled man. Somebody, a relative of that man, must, one way or the other, catch a bird called Agunko. You will not know how you catch that bird. That bird, you cannot catch it anyhow. But on that day of that burial, you might be going on the road, you see the bird on the ground, picking. And that bird must be hanged at the entrance of the room where the corpse is being laid. But all these things now are gone because they will say it's evil. But I don't know any evil in all these things. Mazi, all these things are very, very much. When you talk about Eke, Oriafu, in our town, we have the big Eke and the small Eke. On the big Eke, nobody goes to the farm, nobody goes to the stream, nobody goes anywhere. So when you count the big Eke and the small Eke, it is 4 this side and 3 this side, which is 7 days. On the 7th day, we don't go anywhere. And yet, this is what the Jewish people are practicing. Mazi, I don't know how to put it. In fact, you are more than an astrologer. And you are teaching all this time that our forefathers are astrologers. Mazi, it's better to just listen and learn more. So let me continue to be listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Are you there? Caller on the line. Caller on the line, are you there? Caller on the line. Of course, that is Zoo Epileptic Network, but we must continue. Our people must understand that all these signs around us, they are for a purpose. They are for a reason. We must study them.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, caller on the line?
Good evening, sir.
Go ahead, please.
My name is Fabian Worebu. I call you from Aba. I'm from Aba State, Ezekiel Service. The topic this evening is so sweet. You know, when we talk about, I just came back now for work. I didn't meet up the topic, but I heard when we were talking about white and black. You see, all those white men, those people, they are full of enough. When we are talking about white men, and you cannot see a poster. For example, now when you go to all these churches where they're doing their poster, you cannot see where white man is in that poster where they say hellfire. You only see black man inside that where they say hellfire, hellfire. You only black that can see. So those people that had done us, they have fooled us enough to the extent, even this generation. Many people, when you're telling them that the white men are our problem, they say, you don't understand. You don't want to follow Jesus. But my father, before he died, that day I was asking him, how was the Biafra? You said that I should go and come back before you tell me how Biafra something is. You know, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. May Elohim bless
Thank you very much.
May Chukwu bless you. Bless the womb that gave birth to you.
Thank you. Thank you. My brother, we must continue. Are you there? Call on WhatsApp.
Yes, Onyibe, Ndewo.
Go ahead, please.
My name is Noel Olibu, calling from Toronto, Canada. Anụkwa m ihe unu na-ekwu ka m tikwe obere okwu na ihe anyị na-ekwu. Ọ ihe mere eme na mgbe ụwa ihe a ha na-ekwukwenụ abịakwado mgbe ọkpọtu a ka ha si na-akọ eri anyị anya ihe gbasara na ihe chọọchị. Mana ilezie anya na Baịbụl a ha na-ekwukwenụ enwere ihe a na-akpọ 7 pillars of creation. Ya bụkwana ihe ndị Igbo na-akpọ mmiri, ala, ikuku na ihe ndị a. Ọkwana ya bụ akpata mgbe ahụ ọbịa ihe a na-ekwusi ka a dakpawa ikpe ma ọ bụ asị onye nwere ihe ala na-asọ nsọ sị gị ịgbachie ụkwụ gị bụrụkwa n'ala kwuo ọka. Abịakwana na ote ndị Igbo na-esi eme ihe ala bụkwanụ chikakwanụ chi nke niile, because ọ ala ka onye ọbụla na ala na-eweta ihe anyị na-eri. Ala wụkwanụ chi nke anyị na-efe kachakwanụ chi niile. Ndị ọzọ they really put it this way. They say the god of the land or the mother earth is bigger than the god of the earth, which we call Chukwu Igwe. That is why eji si that ihe niile gbakọkwara anyị na-eme abịasịza ebute ndị ọcha na-ebutere anyị religion ha nke mere ya ihe na-eme. Mgbe ahụ ndị ikem ịpụta akwụkwọ ụka ihe ha agaghị ha na-ekwu ka na-eme eri bụkwana ha kwụ ka ha ihe ha kwuru eru echi ihe ha kwuru awụ ihe ha kwuru. Ọ ya kpatakwara na ihe ụrụ ji batazie n'ala anyị ụkwa n'ala Igbo. Na ilezikwa anya n'ezie anya otu anyị na-esi eme ihe anyị. Ọ dị m obi ụtọ niile bịara na-ekwulite ihe gbasacha ihe niile ihe ị na-ekwu ugbu a na-edo anyị anya na-edokwanye ụmụ Biafra anya ka anyị ghara ịhapụ omenala. Mmadụ agaghị ahapụ omenala ga na-eme n'omenelu. Ọ ya pụtakwa na ụrụ ji bata. Nwere one discussion m nwere with my father in those days. Jere papa akwụ na-aga chọọchị ya sị m yes. Masị ya nna m kwuo nze wụrụ ọnụmọnụ olu Igbo ele ihe ọ na-eme mọpụtara n'ụtụtụ. How does he behave? Edote na-esi akpa agwa ya sị ọ ga-ebute mmiri kwogide aka were mmiri ahụ wụpụ ga tụọ ọfọ ya nakwara nwaanyị mmadụ nwaanyị ya. If I have taken another man's wife, let Annie come after me. If I have seen the truth and I fail to speak the truth, let Annie come after me. If I have taken another man's thing forcefully, let Annie come after me. If I have done evil against my brother or against my people, let Annie come after me. I see my father. Okay, go na nwoke na-agakwa ndị chọọchị ugbu a na-ekpe Catholic. Yes. Can you come and speak the same way my grandfather used to speak? Yes, we'll get away. Because I am a man that this Christianity now hide under it to do a lot of evil. And that is why I'm happy that you're saying this thing you're saying, that Nigerians or Biafrans will realize that where we are is better for us to follow the things that our forefathers are doing. Ndewo, ka mma fụkwa ka onye ọzọ kwuo. Chineke gọzie gị.
Thank you very much. We must continue. The truth cannot be overemphasized. All we need to know is know this truth. Are you there, caller on the line?
I called back.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So, no, our grandmother said it right. Ọkụkọ na-akwa n'abalị, ọkụkọ ọnwụ na-akwara n'onwere fine oji akwa. Ọkụkọ na-akwa fine oji akwa ya sị na ọkụkọ, izi na ọkụkọ ga-anọgide ma ọkwa akwa. Na-ewere dị ọkụkọ gbuo ya sị na ọkụkọ ahụ abụghị ezigbo ọkụkọ. So in the olden days, ihe ndị ahụ na-eji amata time, ihe ndị a na-eji amata mgbe ihe eji ugbu a. That is ugbu a. Even my grandmother ga-anọ otu o nwere ike mmiri ga-ezo ya sa mmiri a na-ezo na o nwere ebe ihe dịka efi na kaụ na o nwere ebe ehi na-amụ nwa and ị gaa tụrụ ebe ahụ ọ gwara ya wụrụ ehi na ebe a na-amụ nwa time ọ na-agwa time mee ka time isi were dị otu a ka o si wee dị betu ugbu a chọọchị ejidere ihe niile ahụ ya sa isi ya ihe niile ahụ na-emezi ugbu a n'aka chọọchị ugbu a were telivishọn dọba na chọọchị ị na-agafe ka ị na-ahụ telivishọn ma n'aka chọọchị n'ime telivishọn ihe ọ na-ekwuru na telivishọn ka ndị be mba chọọchị na-emezi so mgbe oke ihe ndị anyị na okwu nke a na-eme everything ugbu a niile agafe ana so ya ka si ọwa otu o si wee dị dị m mfe ka gị na ya na-abụ ndị m nwere ike ikwuru
Go ahead. Good evening from here. Go ahead.
Onye na-ekwu Maazị Chiedozie Ndumechi. Eshim from Mbitodo. But anọ m na-aba na-ekwu. Ihe m na-agwa gị ihe a na o nwere ihe kọwarala anyị before banyere your mom oge ọ na-abịa n'orodo abịa hụ nkwụ na Nkorodo. Yes, Nkorodo.
So many places, Mbanombi, Amando, Bankwiri, Olo, all of them. Go ahead, please.
I chetara m ihe kọrọ banyere your mother. That is all reminded of many things. That's okay. Ihe kọwara na ana m aghọta oge m na-abịa that place na-abịa eresi nkwa ma m na your mom eze ihe ahụ. So, Maazị, ihe na-agwa gị evening. What remember many things. Oche anyị nọ na anọ m n'Ugwuta too. Ugwuta dịka ihe kọwara today n'Ugwuta. Ndị Ugwuta na-eme ha mụọ nwa ha ga-were nwa ha benye na mmiri. Immediately ha tụrụ ya na mmiri ha were welite dị nwa. The nwa na-eto now ya wụọ even self ya soro na the right soil of Ugwuta na-egwu mmiri otu ọbụla otu chọọ even that is the language. But the man nwere ihe m chọrọ ịkọwara gị this night concerning this ancient this thing ị na-akọwa. Ada na my compound wụ Ezindumechi. O nwere ihe my grandfather mere because my grandfather amaghị ama ọ wụ ancient father ndị ụmụ native doctor ndị a but doctor ka ya wụ ndị ka na-agwọ ihe ọbụla awụ ihe mmadụ mere something like that. Otu now the man adịrịte na-eji anyị o nwere one tree plant that our compound na that tree now enweghị ihe ọbụla egwurọ ụmụ mmadụ Chineke ekere gwurọ nwere ike ịbata na that compound. Nwa ha ọbụla nke ọbụla na-ebilite nụ ime travel ma ọ wee ga ebe ọbụla ọ chere ịga na that tree o nwere one calabash ewerele tinye di a ị ga-abịa di a kwụọ aka tụọ ogu etochaghala ogu ya sị gị nwa m gawa na enweghị ihe ọbụla ga-eme gị. Maazị ị ga-aga lọta enweghị ihe ọbụla na-eme gị. Maazị ihe tichiri m this night eziokwu niile o metụrụ m n'ahụ concerning this your topic this night. Honestly, egweghị eziokwu Maazị obi dị m aṅụrị na ihe ndị anyị na-akọwa this night. Obi dị m aṅụrị ana m asị Chukwu okike abụọ ga-echekwawa gị duwe gị. Our leader na-asị Nnamdi Kalu Chukwu okike abịa ma ga-eji ya ebe ọbụla nke ọ na-aga ihe ọbụla ọ na-eme ebe ọbụla ọ ga Chukwu okike abịa ma ga-anọnyere ya ma n'ụtụtụ ma n'ehihie ma n'abalị ụbọchị dị anọ zuo asatọ ma eke ma oye ma afọ ma nkwọ a niile ga-anọnyere ya ihe ọbụla ọ na-aga o onwego oke ọbụla a ga-akpọ ya onwego okwu ọbụla a ga-akpọ ya ihe ọbụla ndị iro na-eme n'ebe ọ nọ wụ n'efu. Three wise men ka m na-akpọ ụnọ Maazị Onyibe, three wise men ka m na-akpọ ụnọ gịnwa Maazị Nnamdị Kalụ, Maazị Onyibe and Maazị Ichemefo. Three wise men ka m na-akpọ ụnọ. Ana m atụ Chukwu okike abịa ma nọnyere ụnọ ma n'ụtụtụ ma n'ehihie ma n'abalị. Ya gaziele gị Maazị.
Thank you. We must continue. Are you there, caller on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, there. Please.
Ajay,
Go ahead.
My brother, good evening, Biafrans. Good evening, my fellow Biafrans. Oh, hey, Biafra. My name is Rose Roberts, calling from Cologne, Germany. What I want to contribute about this evening lecture, it's a very deep lecture. Very, very, very deep. Very, very deep. Because at the end of the day, I remember vividly well when, according to my mother, when I was 3 months old then or something, I don't know. My mother said I felt sick, and hospital, all those areas now. I couldn't open my eyes, I cannot open my eyes, I can't eat. So at a time, my mother started crying that, oh, Shindo, but my witch, don't kill him. They won't kill him, Pekin. They won't kill this one again, this one. So I don't know the person. I think that person is from the same street with them. Maybe not my uncle, something like that. Then he now took my father and my mom to, I don't know, I forgot the name of this man. As soon as they got to the man's house, this man, they call him Nogbefa. Hi, Nogbefa, not Tuefa. I don't, how they go call him for English? I don't know the name in English. That is, then they see roads or something. Then the man told my mother, I said, no, but if you kill this, your picking, no witch can kill this, your daughter. Stop crying. No witch can kill this, your daughter. He said, but she cannot open her eyes. My auntie, my father's junior sister, when he go come visit my mom in the morning, he go say, now you know when they call me. That man, she's still alive till today. She calls me, the name she calls me till today, she calls me Onyinonwu. As soon as we get to that man's place, these coins you were talking about, these coins that have hole, they said the coins have hole in the middle. The man now put 7 of it and wore on my neck. Less than 5 minutes, I opened my eyes. In less than 5 minutes, I opened my eyes. My eyes were open. My mother said, oh, did it get magic? You see, she can't just describe it. She don't even have idea what happened. So these things you are talking about, if you tell these present Pentecostal fraudsters that call themselves men of God, they will tell you it's an evil. Okay, before they got there, they took me to the hospital, but I couldn't go here there. And my eyes were, closed. So why I can't just, these people has brought so many confusion into somebody's life, and they draw you money, Then they draw you money. Anyhow, I see them give you money, keep. These pastors, them fraudsters, man. These people, Jesus, I'm going to send this video to my friend. I will send this video to my lady friend. If she listens to this teaching this night, I tell you the truth, she will provoke and come to that zoo tomorrow. Because these people, these fraudsters, they have destroyed a lot of people. But I thank God for today. When you for this back to your roots, when you they teach, so I don't know where to start from. I'm Ishine Butom. I'm telling you, you don't know what you've done. Yamar, if you won't understand what you've done to me, man. You won't understand. When I'm listening to this teaching every day. It's like you will see my body shivering. Shivering. I will be shivering. In short, let those that have ears, let them hear. Who now want hear? Now they know. When I'm married, because it took plenty, I don't know where to start from.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, my beloved brother. In short, thank you. Keep blessing you, my brother.
I'm blessed too. Thank
Bless,
you very
my
much.
brother.
Yes. This is where we will be drawing the segment for this very topic. Understand the truth. Our fathers, our ancestors has everything it takes for us to have life, and they were okay. You weren't there. You were not there. You only living by what they told you. And somebody say, but they were evil among them. Of course. The same way it was in Africa, that is the same way it was in Europe, in America, and Asia, wherever. But why would they have to lay much emphasis trying to demonize us as a people? A lot of things happen to us. We embrace them. I hope those of you over there are doing Thanksgiving. Americans do Thanksgiving. Do you know the implication of Thanksgiving? Many countries in the world, they are doing Thanksgiving. I hope people are enjoying the Thanksgiving. And then when you talk about Timberland, some black people are wearing Timberland, jumping up and down. They are stars. I hope you know what Timberland simplify. And then we talk about Black Friday, auction, Black Friday. I hope you know what they mean. And each time we respond to these things, these people know that though we are living, but we are dead. They call us zombie. They call us stupid. But this is the time. We must love ourselves. We must accept ourselves. No matter how ugly the situation is, we will destroy all that is left of us as a people. Burn them completely. And let another generation of Biafran grow from their ashes. A Biafran that cannot be stopped. A Biafran that cannot be manipulated, nor oppressed this long. A Biafran that stands for justice, truth, and equity. A Biafran that will put a smile on people's face, but very ready to revenge our oppressors when the need come. I will be back in no time as I sign off from here. Remain focused.
History of a people, I repeat, is like the stream of life from which the character form and structure of the identity, their backwardness and progress are drawn. It affords a people the platform on which to predict their future. Though, just as every stream has a source, so every group of people has a beginning.
I had a voice on the radio, Radio Biafra, London is the mouthpiece of the Biafrans. Nandekano is his name. He made a vow to fight the end till our nation Biafra is restored. We love him, it's our mentor. Biafra is for real. Yeah, yeah. We will keep on fighting till the end. Now.
Anything you hear on Radio Biafra is the gospel truth.
I had a voice right in the air, sounding like a thunder, calling for my freedom. Yeah, now I conquer. I had a voice right in the air, telling me to listen. Biafra's freedom is near. It's telling me. Biafra is my name. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. My home is telling me. Biafra is my name. Biafra is my name. Biafra is my home. My home. My home. For many years after the war, yeah, we be praying to Kike to give us a good leader. In Biafra land, to replace Ojukwu. Until I wake up one day, one morning, I tune to my radio 102.1 FM, radio Biafra. All I had is love.
The people cannot predict their future if they do not know their past.
Yeah. Nandekano's voice, I had a voice like him, yeah. Sounding like a thunder, calling for my freedom. Yeah, now I conquer. I had a voice again, yeah, telling me to listen. Biafra freedom is play. It's telling me Biafra is my way. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home, my home. It's telling me Biafra is my way. Biafra is my way. Biafra is my home, my home, my home. I had a voice fighting me, sounding like a thunder, calling for my freedom. Yeah, now I conquer. I had a voice fighting me, telling me to listen. Biafra freedom is play. It's telling me, Biafra is my way. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my way, my home. It's telling me, Biafra is my way. Biafra is my way. Biafra is my home, my home. It's telling me, Biafra is my way. Biafra is my way. Biafra is my way, my home. It's telling me, Biafra is my way. Biafra is my way. Biafra is my home, my home, my home.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth. For the rest of my life, be a loyal and dedicated servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We will serve you. We will not let you down. We are not going to retreat 1 inch. We will not surrender. Biafra will come.
He say, Biafra we come, Biafra we come, we want the microphone, Sakaman Gurubito, yeah.